the team that was dubbed as this tournament should be one that's like theirs to lose, as it were, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of pressure on the Danes, but let's get into this one. Hugo. Oh, Dinko. It's a force to have it. It's a force to have it.
He's here in spirit. But anyway, Stown.
Dinko, I'm sorry. Let's go. Take it away.
It's all good. Roy has taken Stown's life away, Hawker, and now we're entering.
Hey, there it is.
The advantage for FNATIC, hopping out the window. Refresh. Hiding away from his camera. Testes, we're zooming in his eyeballs, but the fights keep coming. Crims keeps getting picks. Refresh fighting back, minute 23 left in the clock, but FNATIC want to deal with this one very early. A little slip up through connector coming through, but there's no bailing out of this one. FNATIC really can't get away from the site. They're committed into B, but potentially a flank come around the backside. There's exactly what Roy attempts, but is exactly what Heroic anticipate.
Yeah, it's going to fall into this little weird 3-on-3 now, right? Bomb going down for FNATIC, and Forest looking like he wants to try and make a bit of a play here. Up close to the market, he wants to fight for this control as they push on in. The element of surprise, Refresh traded after one, and so it's all left onto Cadian up through the short side, looking for a way back in.
Well, he hasn't got utility, he hasn't got a kid. It has to just be headshots. And Cadian being tagged up from all directions, really not finding an opportunity into this one, and will get taken out. Nico does take the first round for FNATIC, the T side off to a hot start.
Ah, yes. You love to see it. You feeling good right now, Dinko? I feel like this is a game that's set to deliver, man. I really do.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's great to see the UK boys in force, right? Mezzi's taking over the in-game leadership of this team.
Yep.
That's wild to me because, you know, Mezzi, I've known him for a long time. Obviously has a great idea about the game, how he wants to approach it. But at this level, hasn't really played here for that long. So the fact that he was able to take a win versus Heroic is going to fill him with confidence at the start of the competition. Whether or not he's able to do it in a best of three is a different question. We've seen Heroic play Mirage yesterday. We've seen the CT side be a real problem, a real nuisance. If FNATIC can weather the storm on Heroic CT side early in this game, that could be fun. If you can limit some of the CT rounds they pick up, FNATIC could absolutely do some damage here.
Yeah, one of the things I've always thought about Mezzi is it's like, I feel like you could invent a role that just doesn't exist, and this guy would find a way to make it work. Like, find a way to get good at it. He's like the, you know, the
British Army knife.
Yeah, exactly, right? Actually, that's a very good analogy. Yeah, he really is like a, I don't even want to say a jack of all trades, because it's not like he's, you know, just all right at everything he does. It's like he fully applies himself to whatever is needed to
He's
to
like
lift
a
up
British
the team.
attack.
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, kind of done it all, been around the block, now he's added IGLing onto that list. And honestly, I was impressed with what we got out of him on day one. It wasn't anything like crazy. It wasn't anything like super flashy, but in terms of just having the foundations nailed down, it felt like he was there.
Well, earlier today they had a matchup versus Big. They had a very one-sided opening game. Vertigo kind of fell flat towards the end of the day, and Mezzi really started to drop off individually. And I think that's going to come with being a new IGL, not really knowing how to balance it out and just really focusing on this cause. But the interesting part is that Mezzi is no longer with Alex, right? He was with Alex literally his entire top-level career, really. So it will be interesting to see how that dynamic pans out. Cadian with a scout, looking to see what he can find, doing damage already, Harry.
But that's kind of, you know, that's the end of the intrigue, you know? He gets a couple of scout tags, and it looked like it could have led to something, but in the end, it's going to be nothing here for Heroic. Dead on the short side is Refresh, and so FNATIC, they stick the landing on the conversion, keeping 4 alive, and dealing with the force buy out of the Danes very nicely. You know, they don't take heavy casualties there. They're all good. I
wonder if they played their football today, Harry. I wonder if they were out playing.
They do like that, right?
Yeah, they said they do it every single time after every map. Yeah. And Paulo just starts reaming them out, telling us all about how they don't actually play football. They just kick it and they pass it each other with their arms folded. He really did them.
Look, man, it helps with the unspoken synergy. You know, if you can catch a football that Cadian has
that would be handball.
Punted at you at like 1 trillion miles an hour.
With all of the anger he's stored up from this,
exactly.
whatever's left in the screams.
You know, he went 0-10 on Inferno, and so now he's just like took Stown outside and just pelting balls at him. You know,
a little Stown, poor guy. If he can handle that, he can handle anything. Although he did have a really bad start yesterday. Old Cadian. Couple of misplays. But I did love when they question, you know what happened after that game? I don't know. We just it wasn't anything to do with me, you know. I couldn't possibly tell you. 0 and 10. Well, set up for FNATIC, about to come on in. Smoke set up for the jungle. Nice and deep. FNATIC are going to have no issues. No one's on the A side.
Yeah, Crims might die, and he will die to the USPs that are flocking over towards Con. But
why is there more happening, Harry?
Hang on a moment. This is meant to be a very clean round, but right now it's a 5-on-3. Little boost up to try and spot over. You've also got a big flank coming in on the ramp side for Stown, but it's been checked. Still, you're down to 2, FNATIC. This is USPs. It's getting out of control. It's getting out of hand. Someone, kill anyone, please. It's just Mezzi. Man at the helm of the pack now needs to lead by example. It's a trial by fire. The USPs nipping away at his heels, and Refresh is there to take it over the line. That is a full USP round with 4 alive at the end of it for Heroic.
Get outside and start playing football, because those rounds are ridiculous. The fact you just have USPs in that position and FNATIC drop the ball, that is such an early tilter. You have to limit all of the CT rounds that Heroic can pick up, and you lose to the USPs. Mezzi, luckily not a player to tilt, otherwise, God knows what might happen there, because that is a round that FNATIC should not be losing. But luckily, able to come back into it. That bomb plant does give them a little bit of extra cash to play with, and they have a chance to recover and redeem themselves after that completely ridiculous affair.
Dude, I don't believe that. Cadian gonna take it one step further with his AWP. That's a shot over here into Palace, taking a bit of a push early, and Refresh has even dispatched of Roy over in middle. Oh dear, FNATIC. Oh dear. This one is starting to slip away from them.
It's not the ideal start. It was the perfect start for FNATIC, really. You know, you were starting to pick up the first few rounds. You could have really got the ball rolling against the full eco, but you have messed this one up pretty badly. So I'll see if they can recover it in 3v5. Really shouldn't be happening here. Mezzi's going to be walking out the ramp. Kedian has it held. He's even got the rifle beside of him. So he's got a lot of support here. For FNATIC, you're going to try and use the little boost. I love that. Nikudos taking Kedian out, but it is Shush in the close position that takes Mezzi down in response. 40 seconds, bomb down on the ramp. It's just a matter of time before Heroic got a second to forward and tie things up. Oh, Crims.
Surely this is the end of the line, man. He's tagged down low, and Heroic looking good for their second, looking good to tie this game up. I do want to draw attention to that lovely little like bait and switch setup over towards ramp and CT. Very, very powerful. You just kind of saw the results of it there. You know, even though Cadian falls right away, the tag alone lends a lot of credit to that close player at ramp. He's able to go on and double up, and so suddenly the round just starts to kind of spiral out of control. And that's like a really good example of just kind of Heroic like playing the numbers game, playing it smart, knowing that as long as they trade those ramp fights, the round isn't going to get out of hand. So FNATIC, you know, now they've got to bite the bullet on this one. They've got to come.
Here we go. This is going to be a FNATIC round win.
Yeah,
ready?
man, it should be. Let's see. Can they do it? You know?
It's so good to see Forrest on the screen again in FNATIC jersey. It's just, I wouldn't mind that move permanently, to be honest. I mean, he's no longer with the team, right?
I would love it.
So
he's still so good.
He's still sick. It's unbelievable. Although Shush making sure that there isn't really anything getting out of hand here. And that is, that's quick. That's the way you do it, FNATIC. Take note of that. Heroic clean up all the default pistols. They don't allow the bomb plant to come through. It is clean and clinical as we now get into territory where FNATIC will have to buy up again. They have to try and settle the nerves after the absolute fumble in the first few rounds. But the buy is back. The rifle's out. We'll see if they can get off to a good start here. East side still recoverable in the first few. But if you drop this, you're starting to let Heroic really get into the rhythm. And they're a momentum team, as much as that is a cliche.
Hey, middle is a scary spot to try and take right now for FNATIC. Heroic is set up. At least they were 3 strong here. You know, the window smoke somewhat disrupted it, but it's kind of par for the course. You're expecting that to come in. So now they've doubled up on the con side. As FNATIC try to work middle, they're also kind of laying out a bit of an onslaught towards ramp and Palace. It's starting to come through with Forest getting that opener. These guys in middle going to win a fight over on short as well, so they do have a bit of onus over mid right now. They've gotten Mezzi up into the window. Timing's everything on this wrap round here, but currently he's kind of slipped the net. Heroic have entirely conceded this A site control. They've got middle, they've got, you know, some control over towards CT, and then they've also pushed aggro through the B apartments. Wonder what the intent is behind Cadian here. That's awkward for Stown, man. Caught by Mezzi. And so now Cadian's carrying the bulk of this round on his shoulders, coming in on a T-spawn wrap.
Nikodor starts to put the plant in. That is the flank. That is the key play here. Cadian can start to activate a couple of kills. If he can create the space to allow them back into the site, potentially there is something here. Time taking Cadian's chances from this ramp flank to get a pick very slim, given the fact no one's peeking, so he needs to apply pressure to the bomb, and as soon as he does that, smoke goes out. Nikodor lands the headshot. Round will be conceded. FNATIC win a must-win round. It allows them to continue to be competitive here in the first 2 rounds of play. Shush will save his AK. But look at the money here, Harry, for the side of Heroic. It is building. They put their money in something other than crypto, and so everything's going up.
There you go.
Long-term.
Yeah,
it's a long-term stretch.
Long-term investment, man. That's what it is. They got in with gold at the ground floor.
They did. Now,
you own any gold?
Gold?
Yeah.
No, not even jewelry.
No?
Not a jewelry kind of guy.
You seem like someone who would have like a dripped out chain, like a golden. What's the thing called for a car? Little ornament on the front. You know?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think we've clarified that I'm not that kind of person.
No, yeah.
Car badge, maybe, I don't know. But nope. You got any gold, Harry?
Yeah, me loads, mate.
Money bags,
everything's in gold. Everything.
Yeah, it's a gold toilet seat. That would be kind of weird, though. Gold is pretty soft, so you sit on it long enough, the heat would eventually, like, you would just sink into your own body.
I don't think it's that soft. Woo, Cadian!
But
he's hard as hell, but Roy's found him down here in middle, and we're back into a 4-on-4 with Cadian dead. Stown's trying to make a risky play happen here. Also playing behind this con smoke. Here to Spam, gonna give up the aim of the game for Stown. Trade work is good in middle, but Forest has the round in the palm of his hands. Uh-oh, he's fired off too soon, and Shush is going to turn around and deal with him. Starts to get out of control now. FNATIC, a man down. This mid-control attempt, you know, went very back and forth. It was looking good when they dealt with the double com push, but Heroic had traded those kills out every step of the way. Roy getting that. It's opened up a route into this A bomb site in the 2v2.
Molotov deep to jungle, rotation starting to come back for a refresh, trying to gather with his teammate, but for the time being there is a slight opening. Testes plays on top of the stairs, and oh, so lucky on the timing. This flick shot from Nikodor is not going to land, and now Roy starts to make his way deeper. 25 seconds left in the timer. Roy begins to search for the pick, but look how disciplined Heroic are. They drop back, but Roy still snappy. 3rd kill added to the tally, and he begins to look for a refresh. Often a king in the clutch. A 1v1 up against the Dane on the other side. Refresh creeps closer. Close towards jungle. Roy steps in towards CT spawn for his post-plant position, but Refresh was close enough to hear a couple of those steps, so was completely fixated upon just one position. And Roy holds, waits for the walk around, and the headshot's in. He draws Refresh into the peak, and Roy continues to run for FNATIC.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful from Roy. That right there, man, that's a pretty defining clutch here for FNATIC. They get one of these over the line. That's a 1v2 that he's able to tee up. And it all starts with this kill in what was the 2 versus 3. Wonderful scenes there. FNATIC up onto a 4th. Heroic, they've still got cash to keep the investments coming in, but it's about to run dry. FNATIC win this next one. They're going to be teed up to have a little berth to take them up into the lead here.
They broke down that economy real quick, didn't they? It's a round ago, we're talking about how much money Heroic had, but FNATIC have whittled them down, shaken them upside down, and stolen their lunch money. Both teams in the same position. Swing round coming up. Looks like FNATIC at the ready for a B hit. faked out some mid control because they set that precedent early that they were going to use utility and take mid, but they've just sent one out through the underpass. The rest about to walk into this B site, and there's only one player playing from here. It's Testis out towards short.
Oh, Testis has a bit of help from Refresh. Forest dead out through the apartments first, and Refresh now brushed aside. FNATIC once again have tried to worm their way in here, but it's gotten a little bit awkward. Heroic have already pulled all these rotations around. They've even got an apartments flank coming in now out of Stown. He's very, very fast here, so whether or not FNATIC are ready for it, we'll have to wait and see. Going to start to spring this trap on the backstab. If he gets the freebie out of this, it's lovely. And there's Stown and Shush combining for those 2 final kills. I do like that out of Heroic. You know, they give a lot of time, a lot of space to Stown to work that flank. Once he knows he's gotten, you know, real deep through the apartments, it's clear that it's not being considered at that point in time. And so they give him, you know, the full kind of space to make something happen there. No one reacting till he makes contact. And so that threat, you know, where we said Heroic, oh, they could have been put to eco, they could have been in a rough way, it's been avoided. And they've kept this very competitive.
And FNATIC are now down to a pretty pistol round. I like the idea in that round. That was a cool call from FNATIC in terms of how they try to approach it, because they set the precedent early in this game that they want to take the mid control with heavy util. They had to use heavy util in the mid control take early, so then their B split, they couldn't smoke off the arches, they couldn't smoke off shorts, so they ended up getting taken out with a multi-kill out towards that position, and they kind of ruined the explosiveness towards the end. So the execution of the idea would have been better if they had a few extra pieces of utility. Fortunate there for FNATIC, but Heroic effective in taking it down, and now looking at a 5th round surely going to be added to the tally for the Danes. For FNATIC in this round, goal number 1 is to try and get a bomb plant. If you can secure the plant, that would be impressive considering no utility has been invested in. So you're just kind of hoping this mid-prong can somehow create enough of a distraction to open you up. But 4 players are Heroic on this A side of the map.
Yeah, it feels like they've kind of got the read on this one, man.
Reading the book. I can't read.
Nah, me either, dude. The world's just more fun when you can't.
Yeah, I listen.
Ooh, hello. Oh.
What?
It was a cool idea. Like, you know, they saw the AWP on top ticket and they're like, okay, we have a little trick.
He was on an amusement ride that hadn't been serviced in like 10 years.
Yeah.
Rusty Bolt. The dash. And his corpse flies to the air. 5-4, Heroic take the lead. You ever go to those amusements as kids and you can just tell, like, the people running it?
Oh, bro. We used to have, right? We used to have the donkey derby would come to town. Right?
Okay,
and there'd be a lot of donkeys because that was like a big draw.
Oh, really?
You get to go see the donkeys. But there would always be rides. And man, I ain't saying that they were like way too dangerous to justify going on, but they were. Like, you
did you go on them anyway?
Yeah, of course.
Of course,
man.
you did.
You're a kid. You're like, I'm invincible. Nothing can hurt me. And then, you know, lo and behold, maybe you get hurt. Maybe you do, but you're still here, Harry. So
no, I know, yeah. You're lucky.
I just rode around on the donkey.
the real amusement park right there.
Dude, it was awesome, man. Have you ever seen a donkey in real life?
Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Yeah?
From Ireland, so we just have donkeys
everywhere. They're just everywhere?
So, yeah, it's just like in a field. Used to be this like farmer up the road from me that would just have a donkey sitting in his field all day, and I used to go and play with the donkey. I couldn't say donkey, so I called it Dunyek.
Dunyek?
Yeah.
What's that?
That's how I said donkey.
Oh, okay.
I said, not the most literate human, Harry.
I thought it was maybe like some like, I don't know, Irish.
No, it sounds Irish, doesn't it?
It does,
sounds like some Gaelic style of speaking. But no, I don't speak that either. The buy round for both teams. Anyway, slowly transitioning. Smooth and seamless, really. Cadian's about to push in towards ramp early with the AWP now. If he gets caught in this angle, we've seen this earlier today being used over in the other stream.
Right, look, here's the ultimate test, right? We've been talking about donkeys, but right now, Cadian's the guy.
He's the donkey?
Trying to slap some ass, you know? Like, that makes sense, right? Here he is up close to ramp. Can he do it? He's scoped up, right place, right time. Shut up! Gonna give it away. Cadian with the first, and now Shush is here to act as this kind of 1-2 punch. Just drops the smoke. They're gonna play the 5v4.
Cadian looking to take his team to the 6th round if there is no issue. FNATIC, this is not really inspiring at the moment. They're slowing it down. They don't want to walk through that ramp smoke, so they have to try and find map control elsewhere. They've got Roy out and towards mid. Couple more forces about to peek into him though and refresh. He's a stallion, not a horse. Oh, that's the same thing. A donkey, you know? You see what I was going for, Harry? Well, shoot, a stallion is a good horse, isn't it? Like, it's like a big horse.
Yeah, man. Would you describe yourself as a stallion or just a horse?
I don't know. It depends.
I'd say you're like a Mustang.
A Mustang. Ooh, I like that. I'm not really an expert on horse myself.
Well, don't worry. You're with the right guy. Here's Forest. Out through Palace.
Shush.
The main man. Now dead to Shush.
Oh, Nico. Oh, but it's all Mezzi.
Starting to fall apart. It's just Mezzi left standing. He was coming back to join him with this A hit, but there was so little time left. Like, they had to go. And
don't die after the time. He's died after the time. Yeah, $250.
That's heartbreaking, man.
He can just about afford a skinned alligator. That's so unfortunate for Mezzi. On down. Great. Shoosh. Getting some impacts down as well. Those two players yesterday were looking incredible. Heroic have actually gone for the timeout here. So they're trying to figure out what FNATIC are likely to do heading into this next round, because you don't have a player with a buy because you've just killed someone after the time. What are you considering here? Possibly a force, possibly a full eco? Well, they've got to figure that out within this 30 seconds. What's the rarest thing you've eaten, Harry? Obviously, you're a vegetarian, so
the rarest thing
any rare plants you've eaten or anything?
No. You know,
that you could tell us.
Back when I did eat meat, I once tried frog's legs.
Frog's legs, okay.
Which was
never done that. How was that?
I think that might have been what turned me vegetarian.
Yeah, fair enough.
I was like, God, ugh.
This is awful.
People eat this? It just it wasn't actually that bad. It kind of tastes like slimy chicken, but I don't know what either of those things taste like now. I haven't eaten them in so long. Woo, Crim,
tastes
come on.
A bit like halloumi.
Yeah, kind of. You know, a bit tenuous on that one. All right, look, man. Who's getting a D kill? Dinko, give me the prediction.
All right, Forest. Look at him.
Forest?
He's so close to the monitor that he can't miss.
Yeah, no, that's true. He is the Deagle right now.
Deforestation, perhaps, though. Yeah. Chop down. Trees are gone.
I'm going to say Mezzi. He doesn't have a Deagle, but I think he's going to get a Deagle. Maybe
that's a bold one, Harry. You picked the one guy without a Deagle, and we're all wrong here. Crims did get one, actually, so there we go. Nico dodge, dead. Test, smacked him. 7-4. Heroic looking quite good, settling into the CT side. It was a very good start for FNATIC, but you know, the scoreline may depict a closer picture, but to be honest, it has really been Heroic settling into this one rather one-sided.
Once we kind of got out of like that back and forth, you know, where like Heroic had been able to have everything they could possibly need, and you start to forget about the pistol round and the results from it, and obviously there was the full eco win for Heroic in amidst all that. Yeah, you know, it actually, I'm inclined to agree with you, it's been pretty one-sided since the guns have come out, and Cadian, man, like, he's looking like an entirely different person to the one we saw on day one. This is the guy we're used to seeing, you know, he's brimming with confidence right now. He's out for revenge after that day one matchup.
Did a few extra keep-ups, and now he's ready to go. Coming out swinging yesterday, missing those shots, not really getting the same impact out of his risks that he was taking. These risks seem a little bit more calculated, though. Yesterday's risks were taking risks for the sake of it. They were handled pretty well. Heroic do their best work on the CT side, pushing in towards the ramp. It's really difficult to play against Heroic, and this is a true test, really, for Mezzi's in-game leadership ability. When you're playing a map like Inferno, right, if Heroic don't get to play the same style on the CT side, where you can constantly be aggressive, you can adapt the CT side immediately on the fly, this is a completely different beast. Calling against Heroic is almost impossible. I was talking to Golden about this when he used to call against Heroic. He would like give them a bit of false information, hoping they would gamble stack based on that, and they would still make the right read. So, you know, you've got someone who's much more experienced in the calling department like Golden, who just can't crack the code on them. It's a real test here for Mezzi to see where he can get it, to how many rounds he can pick up in the first half.
Yeah, you know, I think one of the things that's so tricky as well is that, like, they are a pretty aggro team out of the gate. You know, they're not afraid to like throw a fight at you early on and try to thin the numbers on the back of some like very orchestrated peak, you know, like to take that opening fight. Like this is an example, right? Cadian has that smoke to help him get down through lower. He runs the gauntlet, deals with the guy, and then just gets the hell out of there. And I think one of the hardest parts is it's very, very tempting to slow down your rounds and wait for that aggression. But oftentimes, I feel like it doesn't work as well as, you know, maybe it should. It's like the standard ruling is, okay, they're pushing us a lot early. Let's kind of hold this default. Let's wait and see what fights they give us. And normally you still end up losing those opening fights. Now you have the downside of like playing from a man down. You're moving into a sight hit in like the final 30 seconds. Heroic are super mobile. They're all about grabbing information, leaning into stacks. And so you kind of end up like you get forcibly kind of made to play Heroic's game. And it's going to be, you know, it's going to be a big question to see if Mezzi can somehow turn this around for FNATIC towards the end of this first half.
It's just hard to see a world in which they get much more than 5 rounds in the half, unfortunately, at this point. So, best I'm looking for is that 5th round. If they go into the half with 5, I can see them sustaining a pistol loss and potentially staying in the game. But when you're 11-4 down, I don't think you can sustain a pistol loss and still be okay. We'll have to see. It's going to be FNATIC getting up in towards the ladder room, clearing it out. They've got a good bit of map control here, but Heroic really shouldn't have too many issues. They're holding the range advantage with the rifles. They've leaned 3 players towards A. They've got deep control in the apartments of Refresh. Snow can miss that fight quite heavily and actually loses his life in the trade from Roy. So that's an upgraded weapon. Although Shush will fend off the connector flight and peeks out again for the second onto Crims. It's just down to Mezzi and Nikodos, and they'll see what they can do, but they're just going to meet the same fate as their teammates.
Oh no,
everyone.
Accidental right.
Yeah, we've all been there a couple of times. You ever play with M4 without a silencer? Sounds pretty cool.
It sounds cool.
That's about it, right?
Yeah, that's kind of where the list of benefits starts and ends. You know, everything else about it is worse. Man, you know, I feel like as this has gone on, you've really seen the depiction that we were kind of teeing up, and that's it stopped being so much like what a FNATIC want to do in these rounds. It's more like how are they adjusting to what Heroic are doing.
Yes, how can you make the most out of nothing?
Exactly,
basically.
And so it's like, you know, the fact that Heroic are really the ones like controlling the flow of the game right now is certainly a worrying sign. FNATIC, you haven't really had any of these like faster rounds anymore. You know, think about how they tried to smash that B bomb site early on. They just went for like an all-in play with MAC-10s. I know it didn't work, but these were like faster rounds that we were getting. They were a little more typical for the FNATIC squad, whereas now it's kind of cruel, you know, slowed to a bit of a crawl, really. I think it's kind of wild as well, because when you look at FNATIC, there's so many good entry players in this team. You've got Roy, who's this like phenomenal Danish entry player from Copenhagen Falmez fame. Then Nikodos, someone who can provide those openers with the AWP. But just look at the setup here, right? If this doesn't echo the sentiment that right now FNATIC are playing very default heavy, they are waiting for this early aggression. Missed shot for Cadian, and this time won't get away with it. So Mezzi, this is kind of the moment that he's been waiting for throughout the last, 4 or 5 T rounds. Finally, that opening shot, that opening chance doesn't go the way of Heroic, and now FNATIC are the ones a man up. So this is like the moment you've been really putting all faith into. What's he going to do with the 5-on-4?
But you can see the immediate reaction from Heroic. They had Stalin try and trade the kill with a flash play out of connector. That didn't work. So now they pushed 2 players into the B apartments. They've left Refresh deep in the apartments. So they know that FNATIC aren't coming towards this B site right now at all. So they can bolster the defense on A and try and hold this down. Stown rattling away, gets the double. Mezzi and Roy both go down, and Stown finally traded out. But his work has already been done. It feels real tough now for FNATIC, who are now down to the 3v3, and Refresh is pushed all the way behind him. He's starting to counter the connector. There needs to be a quick kill here for Nikodos, but it's not quick enough. Doesn't get away, and just Crims. Bomb isn't down, 20 seconds left, and look at that. Just the reactions of Heroic. They don't leave a second for you to try and figure it out. You have to immediately react, otherwise they're going to get all the info. And Crims, quite the master of the clutch, time and time again. This time being peppered down through the boxes. He's down to 17. And they're both doubling up. They're playing together. So this makes this very difficult because Crims can't sustain any more damage, right? A bullet goes through, takes him out pretty quickly here. Crim's under a lot of pressure, and finally the spam will come through. This time it is lethal, and even after the initial kill for FNATIC, they're unable to convert the round win.
Oh man, that's rough. It's like now, now you kind of realized how you just scraped, you just scraped the tip of the iceberg, really. There's actually a lot more problem solving that's going to have to go into this. Even when you get Heroic Command down, their responses, their protocols that are in place are very, very clean. Even in the 3v1, the way that they approach it, giving Crims like no fight, no chances. He has to go and look for an engagement in CT. That was actually like very, very forward thinking from Crims. It allowed for the bomb plant. But even then, it's like, what room did he have? None. He was stuck at triple the whole time. They spammed him down to 10 points of health. So, yeah, this is really nice out of Heroic. Once again, FNATIC are going to get that opener. This is 2 rounds in a row now where they've successfully gone 5-on-4 up to open. This time they have to stick the landing, or else Heroic have chained all these rounds together. They are in prime position to run away with Mirage. Once again, they would have had a really good first half.
Once again, the reaction for Heroic is instantaneous, right? Look, you see the push through Palace comes in for Shoes. They don't let it slip for that long. You lose the first player, they either try and trade that or they get map control back. And Shoes just push through Palace, and that's where the trade comes back in. So now you see a player coming late into Palace. The signal is potentially an A play to finish this one. You can start rotating players back, but FNATIC doing a decent job at getting a couple of these kills back. But the window boost is watched by Cadian, but it's the power position of Shoes. FNATIC realize they have to clear him out. They have to take him out of Palace, and he knows if he just holds this, he's got a powerful position to set up a distraction that gives more space to his team to get back in for the retake.
Yeah, FNATIC now either have to fight forward or go back and try and deal with this Palace player. Right now, they're kind of waiting inside of the site. They've got a man holding for this Palace swing, but it's taking eyeballs off of other avenues here for Heroic. Flash goes in for Cadian. This is going to trigger the push. Shush out and in with one. Traded after the fact. It's Cadian at 2 HP, desperately trying to wallbang. It's not going to happen. FNATIC, they do right their wrongs. They come in with a 5th round. It's Crims and Mezzi to deliver it all. Some things never change. And so that there is going to allow them 5 at the end of this first half, but still a 7-round streak for Heroic. It's nothing you can turn your nose up at. This has been a very good first half for the Danes.
It's been very solid for Heroic, and it is almost paramount that FNATIC found that last round at the end of the half. So fantastic job from Crims. Mezzi gets an important kill in the crunch time. You can see Shush trying to play off the distraction of his teammates, comes out of Palace. So great job in terms of being able to deal with that for FNATIC. And they get somewhat of a lifeline coming into the second half. But it goes without saying, as much as it is a cliche, this pistol round means a lot to FNATIC. They need to pick this up going into the start of the second. If they don't, well, we're going to be looking at a pretty difficult spot for FNATIC to stay competitive throughout Mirage. We'll see what they have up their sleeve. It's a quick B play here from Heroic. Utility being dumped in, flash being put on towards Mezzi. He's going to hear this. He has a good setup with Roy to try and deal with it.
That flash is brutal though. Roy is now dead and Mezzi is overwhelmed. They sprint at him, they run him down. And now they're left in this 5-on-3. Bomb getting planted, it's for the apartments. They've got a man waiting here. Burst out a refresh, all right lad. 4 in the round, he's on for the ace. Go forth and get your fortune refresh. Here it is on the short side. He wants all 5 for the pistol, and there he is with the ace. Woo! He made that burst fire Glock look good.
Well, I don't have to tell you, Harry. FNATIC didn't win the pistol. Refresh just comes in, swinging, chopping up the players inside of the market. There's absolutely no way he should be able to get away with this. Refresh dives down, takes out Roy, continues to move forward. A second pick found on the Mezzi, but this is unforgivable. They should have taken him out of the round, but Refresh, once you get the 4K, you've got to go and hunt that final player, and he does exactly that. 11 rounds now for Heroic. FNATIC down into the doldrums. The force buys come through, but it's pistols and a scout up against rifles, and a couple of SMGs already here for Heroic. Utility going up in towards TopCon. They've already taken mid-control here, Heroic. Setting up, about to fight in the ladder.
Roy, 5-7 in a dream. But the dream catcher of Stown is there to knock him out of the round. Still, the trade's going back and forth. Pretty strong inside of the B site. Heroic not knowing to commit into those stacks. They sense trouble ahead, and so they're going to go back. They're going to reroute in this round, try to look for greener pastures.
Not a bad start here for FNATIC in terms of the initial kills that they find. They've actually softened up Shush as well. How do Heroic weasel their way back into this one? That's the call that Cadian's made. He's got the Mac 10 in hand. Almost would like Cadian to take the AK out of the hands of Shush. Give him the Mac 10, send him forward on the low HP. Oh, Crims. He's found Cadian though on the start of the site. Cadian was not with his teammates, so unfortunately getting the weapon into his hands is almost impossible. Stown is going to dive on out. The 2 AKs left to do it. Stown, the playmaker, having to create the space because of his teammate, who is damaged up. Stown not getting chances. FNATIC discipline, they realize this is a miracle chance to get back into the second half. If you don't pick up the pistol, you better hope you can find the force buy. Stown applying pressure, sets up the peek from Mezzi, who goes right into the crosshair of Shusha, now dives out of the apartments, taps onto the bomb. Nikodos trying to come back in, but Heroic are recovering this one. It's just down to Crims, and he's slowly slinking back. No kit, no utility, no Kevlar here for Crims. As much as this looked like a golden ticket for FNATIC, Heroic have snatched it away.
I mean, this scout is still going to hit like an AWP, and I think he
seen the
saw
barrel.
a little barrel there, right? So he
Just
knows when one of these players are. But Stown holding the angle, that is a thing of beauty. Crims thought he had the drop. He thought he had them right where he wanted them. But he plays into Heroic's hands. Man, for FNATIC, that one's going to hurt. They get it real close. They had a real chance to win that out. And I think you did a great job of kind of highlighting the importance of capitalizing on moments like that. But Heroic do not make it easy for you.
Now you're looking at Nico.
Yeah, I mean, dude, this is essentially, you know, this game is going to come down to, do FNATIC win their first rifle round? Because if they don't, Mirage becomes a distant memory. They're a map down in a series where it really is all or nothing. You know, you're either continuing on, you're making it to the playoffs, you're trying to make this deep run, or you're done.
4 players here for FNATIC right now. 3 players here for FNATIC right now, and Forrest, he's the next player on the chopping block likely here. Dink onto Stown. Smart play to just drop back.
2.
Allow your teammates to move forward, and they're all dropping like flies right now on the FNATIC side. Cadian looking for money, and soon to be none.
None. It's just Roy left on a little CT wrap.
Roy looking for pure Yoy.
Roy with the double, 5-7, and with a chance. 1v2 for Roy now.
Stown's low.
Okay, there's the chance here, Roy. Once again, you know, it's a big opportunity for FNATIC. They didn't have a hell of a lot coming into this round.
No.
Roy, can he do it? Up close, Stown is here. Gonna have to get out of there. He's got support from his teammate back at ramp. Roy, how on earth are you meant to get into this one? What? That's a dink! Roy, it's so close! But Stown's gonna put a stop to the madness. It's a damn good try, but not enough for FNATIC there. Oh, man. I thought he was going to do it. Shush was the biggest, like, scariest thing in that round, and he taps him out like it was easy.
Yeah, he brought me to a pitch. I didn't even realize it was in my register. That is incredible that he gets it this close, and it's so unfortunate that it's Stown, the player that was dinked up by Forrest initially, who was able to stand tall to close it. Another missed opportunity for FNATIC, but that one you just have to laugh off. You're not, it should never be in a position to win that kind of round. You can see Roy wasn't too frustrated about losing it. But this is the round you were mentioning, Harry, this gun round. If this doesn't go well for FNATIC, we might as well pack it up. This will be faster than a DreamHack. Disassemble. Smoke goes up towards the apartments. Deep in towards it. The other side, held behind it, are Heroic, tentative on the approach. But it's about to be explosive.
Yeah. It is going to come in just a moment, right? They're now grouping in the apartments, all 5 here. They're looking to move in. Flash is going over the top. Mezzi's going to respond with the first. It's a good opener, but he's lost his teammate on the short side. Mezzi's now got to do the heavy lifting all alone, tucked in at the bench. He knows he's about to get fights, and that molly catches him out in the open. Crims does what he can to hold on, but it's not enough. Ikadar's now waiting with this AWP. Forrest moving in to join him. It's a double market retake. And what is that from Cadian?
It has to be Forrest. It just has to be on the flank, but
he's
position
saving.
Now, give it away. He's going to grab the AWP and get out of there.
Man.
It is frustrating here for FNATIC. Mezzi does a good job at buying a lot of time. He gets the initial kill as well, slows it down. Rotation starting to come in, but it's not enough for FNATIC to stay competitive.
I mean, you know, we just said, like, FNATIC needed to win this. It all kind of hinged on winning this first rifle round, because now they're up against 14 with nothing.
They're about to lose the AWP as well here.
Oh, my God.
Oh, he's looked away.
Oh, my God. Forest.
Forest gets in the corner. Kadian tracking. Doesn't see him. Doesn't go around the corner. Luckily there for Forest, he finds the little nook and cranny. Truly the ninja still in him.
As we say, you know, this is an all or nothing series. You're either eliminated or you're going through to the playoffs here at the Pinnacle Cup Championship rather. And of course, you know, if you want to find yourself in attendance, tickets are still available. You can scan that QR code and go ahead and pick those up. It's in Lund, lovely little town in Sweden. And hell, we might not have, you know, like kind of some big Swedish names there if this keeps up for FNATIC.
I'm sure they'll stick around though, and you will probably still get to meet them here at the event. We've got Get Right hanging around here at the moment. We got Forrest. We got all the legends out here, and you know, Golden on the desk. He'll certainly be there. So there will be some confirmed Swedish presentation in the playoff stage of the competition. But yeah, I mean, it's very close to Copenhagen. So if you're a fan of Astralis, come on by. They're in the playoffs already.
Yeah, mate. Just drive over the bridge, take a train, whatever you'd rather.
Walk, swim, do anything, really.
It's like half hour.
You can take an electric scooter.
Honestly, you're kind of missing out. Like, if you... It's so, you know,
it's
so
like,
accessible.
what, 15 euros, 16 euros for a ticket? You guys
it's
buy
14 pounds, I think. So I don't know what that is in euros.
16 euros, something like that? Yeah, not bad. Pound ain't what it used to be, Harry.
Yeah, you know, at the end of the day, I'm not like trainline.com or whatever. I don't know all the prices, but I'll give you my best estimate, I guess.
Harry will literally pick you up on a scooter.
Yeah,
and bring you over
I will scoot and I will meet you at the airport and I will chauffeur you here. Crims, he's going to show Shush something now.
Oh, refresh!
Walking out of Palace. It's a good adjustment from Nikados. Going to reclaim that lost man. So the lead still held by FNATIC in this round. 4 on 3. Mezzi with the Goblin angle.
The Green Goblin.
Here he is.
Spider-Man's nemesis.
KDM.
Oh, he's got him.
Shooters, mate. They're sticking out. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's the bomb as well. Like, playing trigger, just knife him, bro. Just knife him.
Yeah. There we go. Finally. He's like, what? Surely the bomb isn't here alone. But nope. Kadian has gone up with the bomb alone. And everything is going down. Testus out of there. 6 rounds for FNATIC. There he is, the Green Goblin himself. Black and orange goblin.
Yeah, man, the two-tone goblin.
Yeah, it's my favorite one, actually. We hear Kadian on the mic. Don't speak Danish, but I'm sure someone at home does. It's not getting as loud as he was yesterday. Hugo was telling me you guys could hear him from this room.
Yeah, you know, at times. Not when he was 0-10. He was pretty quiet then, actually.
Yeah, I can imagine, yeah.
Dude, I gotta say, Forrest is having a bit of a rough one right now. 3 kills, and we're 21 rounds deep.
This one's just getting started, though, Harry, so let's see what he can do in this one. Forrest on the AWP.
All right.
This is his round, I feel it.
I'll subscribe to this. Subscribe
in the Forest.
Subscribe to the Forest, there we go.
He does mushrooms and be at 1 with Forrest himself. It's about to be an execute in towards his position. He's playing in front of the smoke, so he will actually be able to deal some damage here. Will he be a...
Oh, you're lucky to be alive!
And he goes out again and dies. No kill for Forrest in this round.
Hey, that is brutal. And as they try to turn to deal with the hole that's been made over in A, that's where the con split comes in. This was very well put together by Heroic. Boom. All right, Nikados, come on then. Give us a reason to believe. 1 kill is not enough to believe yet. 1 kill, not enough to make me a believer.
You won't subscribe to this one. The 4v2, Heroic happily sitting by. Nothing coming their way. FNATIC have to concede. Their chances must come in a later round. I don't think they're going to get many rounds to play with here. 15 secured for Heroic. This is looking to be an absolute smackdown. Oh, missed shot from Nikados. Everything looking to be removed. No mercy today for Heroic. Getting revenge is their main priority. FNATIC kicked them early. Took the win in the opening match in the best of 1. But Heroic starting with a strong statement here today. The best of 3 elimination game. The favorites for the competition will not go out. In their mind, at least. There's still lots to play, but right now FNATIC not posing much of a threat. what you've got on the FNATIC side to play with going into possibly the last round of this game. It's going to be the M4A1 SL3, MP9, AK-47, a little bit of utility, but not a whole lot. Namely, there isn't actually Molotovs in play. There's one in the hands of Crim, so he won't be able to slow anything quick here. And it is pretty quick here, out of B.
Yeah, they're trying to do what they can on these entries. Heroic. The flashes were good to move them in, but over on the short side, Crims has held it down rather. As he's still playing up close, going to turn him to mincemeat, and so the Danes, they come a-knocking, and it's the Brit out with the reply over at Van. He's been the two-tone goblin, now the white Van man.
White Van man. That sounds more sinister.
Men with Ven. And so FNATIC not out of this one yet. You know, they've still got a bit of fight left in them. It is going to be a comeback of epic proportions needed, though. They need 8 more in a row if they want to take this to OT. It's wishful thinking currently. But hell, man, all great comebacks got to start somewhere.
Gotta wish.
Go to Wish. Buy a comeback.
Buy a comeback. It'll get you to 14 rounds.
Is this like a premium, you know, premium select comeback, or is it a Wish comeback? Let's find out.
Or yeah, other cheap manufacturers are available. But we'll see how this one pans out. Heroic 3 AK still pose a threat, a deadly threat, in fact, as Roy push up into middle. He's gone down early on, so first pick is Heroics. Nice reply from Crims. He's caught in the connector. No one's there to help him out. He's going to be forced into the open. Fantastic work there from Crims to get the double kill.
Yeah, he's done his part in the round, but now everyone else needs to hold their own. Nikados, okay, playing in the window smoke, hoping he's given a gunfight here, but they are looking to move out of middle. Slipping instead down through lower.
Refresh is about to enter the apartments, and Mezzi's pushed up pretty far. He's found himself a comfortable little spot in the sofa area. He is not a welcome guest. He deploys his security measures.
Yeah, now they know, right? Mezzi, still, yeah. No one's only half the battle. The other half, well, it's the battle. And Mezzi wins them both. Swings it wide. I like that as well. That's a little more confidence there out of Mezzi, right? You're up against 15. If you lose that round, it's all over anyway. So he just kind of, you know, throws a bit of caution to the wind. He tries to fight them on his terms for a change. And it's a thing of beauty here. That's like vintage Mezzi just anchoring down the apartments. Doubling up and safeguarding the round. FNATIC with 8 and an eco for Heroic. When this is all played out, it's just going to be 6 between FNATIC and the Danes.
Nate going down to the underpass. Caught in the undertow. Heroic certainly starting to wake up inside. Mezzi peeks out onto shore, getting in out of that. It's going to be sent in to deal with some of the softened opponents. Doesn't actually land anywhere near them. So, picked up rifle. Nikados is taking one of the USP, but is immediately answered upon. FNATIC should have really no issues closing this, but never really know. And there's a rifle still in the hands of a Heroic player. SS low.
Right, you don't win that, yeah. Yeah, there was no winning that fight, but on the upside, there is a chance of the plant. Whoa, shush!
Wow.
Go! Put in those digits. He's done it. They've got the plant. That's what Heroic wanted. Anything else is a bonus, but should be the end of the line, and there it is. Mate, that was actually a really nice idea. They leave the A1S in mid, it gets hunted, the A players pulled away to go and support the mid-crunch, and it lets that bomb plant come through. That is very much Heroic, just planning for the future, right? Making sure that those bank accounts are built up in this next buy round. They're going to have the AWP, they're going to have all the bells and whistles. This is now, you know, their chance to close this out. No excuses here.
It's like the classic matchmaking strat of you go A and I plant B, kind of, but
with a bit more flair.
Yeah, a bit more flair, but more about it, really. And so that's good. You got some extra cash out of that. And maybe that extra cash might just be enough topple the FNATIC side here on Mirage. But I'm glad to see a few more rounds being picked up here for FNATIC. Even if they lose this, which they should, at least you got into the first game a little bit. You can leave with your head a little higher. It's that mentality shift going into the second map. You feel a little bit better about this. I love how far Forest is pushed down through the ramp here. So much control already taken. Isn't going to push too much further forward, so Shush isn't going to be in a position to see him or really do anything about Forest, and Forest isn't going to see anything with Shush, but he's just picking up information that no one's pushed into A just yet. But if they come back, that's when Forest's position becomes real deadly, and that's exactly what they're doing here, Harry.
Yeah, it makes me nervous that it's Forest here, though, dude. He's had a really rough go at it, and he's missed a lot of shots that are very uncharacteristic. Like, if there ever was a time to get him back in the game, it would be with a multi-kill in this position. You know, this could be the reactivation of Forest. He's been spotted. Oh, that's the bomb. It's a good start for Forest, but it's only one. Cadian's going to trade it still. He's got so much info from this.
And it actually just disrupts the play entirely, because you can't just go for that smoke execute, because the bomb fell down. You had to drop off the platform. You had to waste a few more seconds. And in that second, it's allowed an adaptation for FNATIC, an adjustment to the defense. And that's the push of Crims in towards ramp. 25 seconds left. If you're heroic, you can't be that methodical. Of course you have to clear this position, but oh, Crims gets the double. Gideon and Refresh go down, and the impact is felt from forced push in the initial part of the round. And the rest of the adaptation is solid enough for 10 rounds of FNATIC's board.
All right then, they're building back in, aren't they? FNATIC starting to get into the swing of things. Heroic are the ones now feeling a little bit ropey, feeling a little bit uncertain. Really nice disruption, the kind of 1-2 combo from Forest and Crims, and you were dead on. You know, after it gets disrupted for so long, there's so little time left. They can't take all the kind of time clearing these angles, and so Cadian just assumes that on his kind of light jiggle in that the angle is clear. And Crims doubling up. Well, it's got a lot of mileage on it there. The two Swedes getting stuck in, dealing with the A play. Also important for Forest, I think, just to feel like he's having impact in this game. Yeah, not one that you would say would get in his own head, but it certainly was. Like, a lot of opportunities where Forest doesn't often drop the ball was sailing past earlier on, and at least there he's good for one. It was an important kill. It was the kill that dropped the bomb, that allowed for those rotates, that bought all that time. And so it's a very key moment in the round. Now, another partial investment for Heroic. They're starting to feel this one get a lot closer than they wanted it to. They're going to try and full send into the A bomb site. Crims putting on a show with this second AWP. Lights them up on the push, and now just plays the numbers game, right? No point overextending here, giving that AWP over, giving Heroic a chance. You can play the 4v2. Hello, Cadian's just lost the bomb on a stairs push. Oh my god, Shush. Hang on. This was not meant to be winnable. This wasn't meant to happen. He's only got a P250, only got the sidearm. This jungle player is a little bit away, and so Shush has time to get that reload off. Was not aware about Mezzi here. I think a big part of his brain had assumed that if anyone was jungle, they would have come swinging. They would have supported that CT player. They would have gone for the trade. And so Mezzi arriving late might have actually served him well there.
And that's a little warning system to FNATIC. Yes, you're very much mentally in the game now, perhaps even physically in the game, but that's a little warning of the ability of Heroic. They have so much firepower. It's hard to keep that firepower suppressed when they're on match point for so many rounds. You have to be perfect for FNATIC if you want the full comeback. Refresh has got the first kill. Forest is down. Crims is trying to pull that one back by playing his way through Palace. Hanging around here, but eventually you start to feel a little uncomfortable. In particular, Nikodos was his main support network, and he now has to worry about Connector 2. Roy's pushed up through short. There is a couple of protocols in place here for FNATIC, but when you're down a player, there is going to be a gap somewhat. I think right now that potentially is that ramp setup. They walk through the ramp right now, puts pressure onto the AWP here. There's two AWPs inside of the A site. Crims needs this kill. If he gets this, FNATIC are in a great position, and that's exactly what Crims goes and gets.
Alarm bells are going off now for Heroic. They need someone to make a play. Refresh is trying to be that man, but no fights are getting given to him, and these AWPs continue to disrupt Heroic. Refresh, man, your window's closing. Oh, he's just made it across underneath the Palace player. Oh, Nikados, what is that? Wall bangs him out. It's just Cadian left, and Nikados lays down the pain with the AWP. Another round for FNATIC on this comeback. Another round in the right direction. Closer and closer to that big threat of overtime.
We're
now
really
12 to their name. And I mean, dude, like, this double off A-hold, a thing of beauty.
Oh, he's seen the elbow.
He saw the elbow and he saw the toes. Nikados with a foot fetish over here, man. Look at him go.
Yeah, fantastic stuff. And that's FNATIC marching their way back into this. It's quick. It's very quick here from Heroic. Forrest is there, signaling the alarm bells that needs to go. They realize the double up setup, so a quicker call. Out of spawn here for Heroic. Is this the banana peel? The FNATIC slip upon, but it doesn't look like it. Mezzi's held. And Stown with the rifle. Bomb loose, but so much time.
Yeah, and mate, Stown in these clutches, I don't know. This guy kind of steps it up a level when you throw him into a clutch. He's only got himself to worry about now. Hoping that he's given an early engagement, but all this waiting has lended time to FNATIC. They've sent a big wrap in through ramp. Roy moving in for the backstab.
The longer Stown takes, yeah, he's just not really considering this ramp flank.
It's not gonna, it shouldn't happen now. Too much time lended to that ramp flank, and Roy gets there silently. No idea for Stown.
2 rounds away from overtime now for FNATIC. I like the call there from Heroic. They see the double up setup was used in the A site in the previous round, so they call a little investment, Tech 9s, armor, charge it out A. Try and beat that smoke. Try and just get out before the util. I like the call. Definitely makes a lot of sense on paper, but Forrest does well to get the early pick. If he goes down without the fight there, who knows? Maybe the AWP's under pressure, doesn't have the extra second to react and compose themselves to be able to deal with it. But a buy is now in for Heroic. This is the decisive one. If Heroic lose this, FNATIC surely will be in pole position to bring us to overtime. It's heavy through middle for Heroic. Everybody applying pressure. Molotov goes around towards short. They've already taken so much control. Roy's about to be dunked on. Nade takes him down to 58 HP, and he is looking for this first pick. He wants this first kill, and the flash goes around the corner. Roy goes down, and Heroic have the first kill of round 29.
This is one of the best spots that Heroic have been in since they've tried to close this game out, right? They were 15-6 up, and now we're at this point where we were considering overtime. They're in this 5-on-4. These are the moments where Cadian has to dig deep, has to deliver a round-winning strat to just put this game to rest. There is a big flank right now, pushed all the way through A. Forrest embarking on a big old journey here, has got the crunch on these mid players, but Refresh is considering it.
Yeah, Heroic have so much time, they can wait for this. They can wait, they know FNATIC has to react, and there's the information. Now they know, okay, likely a possible stack in towards this B side. Now we start to think about the connector play. Maybe we can start to take control of that, but Forrest comes back, he double dips, and there was no way Refresh thought he was gonna stick around. That's a big kill to find, but they came up through.
Both bomb sites right now. They're in B and they're in A.
But the bomb's only gone to one. The bomb has only gone to A. 19 seconds left. Sticking around is Crims. He knows the bomb's gone down on this A site. Nikados is taking out Testes, so it's all on Cadian. The 1v4 to survive overtime possibilities. He can close it, but it's going to have to be in the most heroic fashion.
He's cognizant of the wraparound. Cadian needs to be flawless in every one of these fights, and it's wishful thinking. Crims nails him on that quick jiggle out of ramp. That whole round was destined for Cadian to be the man to set up to clutch it, and he falls short. 4 left standing for FNATIC. This is going the full 30 rounds. Heroic, have they let this one slip away from them?
It's all Forrest in this round. You know, the player we criticized about his performance, maybe a little quiet in that first half, but it's the impact he finds. The reaction, similar to that of what we were discussing in the first half from Heroic. When you lose the first player on the CT side, there needs to be some sort of reaction. You need to either get map control back, you need to get the trade kill. And we see Forrest, not without a second, he's pushed through ramp, he's getting all the info and realizing no one's here, no one's at T-spawn. That's information that allows the FNATIC side to continue the stack of 2 players in the B side. No one has to take a risk over there, but it's the double dip from Forrest, the balls, really, to go back into that mid-fight again. Refresh is holding for it, but he wasn't ready for him to come back. And that's the game sense. You can't really teach that. That's just a feeling that Forrest had to stick around and go for that again.
It also speaks volumes as to where this game is at and the FNATIC we're seeing right now. Because if that was earlier on in the game, Forrest would have just left. He would have given them the respect. You know, it was a very respectful first half from FNATIC where they kind of played on Heroic's terms. That's not happening anymore. The game has changed now. Looking like it's going to be another one of these just flat-out A executes. Heroic are putting it all on the back of A smokes.
And here it comes, utility being sent forward. Crims smoked off this time, so as the player committed inside of the smokes, it's Forrest that looks to try and get it done. First kill will go Heroic's way. They've cleared out Forrest. The machete chops down the trees and gives the chance now to Heroic to try and close this one out.
From 15-6 into round 30, is it all for nothing? FNATIC, a man down. They've got to dig deep. They've got to try and pull this one back from the most dire of circumstances. Already, Heroic are deep towards CT. Tess says they don't know about it, but here he is, swinging out. Crim's now dead. Tess says, we'll get traded. Still, you're dealing with the deficit here if you're FNATIC. What are they going to do? Mezzy in the window. Good for the first, but Cadian's just being elusive, just dancing around. Mezzy's now dead. Nikados needs to serve up something huge. 1 versus 3, and this one is too far gone. Heroic, the full 30 rounds needed, but they do get it over the line.
What an incredible match, and heartbreaking for FNATIC not to be able to pull that all the way to overtime, but the relentless Heroic, they continue to attack the A site. They finally break through, and it's Forrest that just doesn't get that one pick. He did that before when they tried to faster play into A. He was able to fend them off with the first kill, but this time unable to do it, and the post plant that Heroic find themselves in is just too strong to really compete into the retake attempt. But that could have been far worse. That looked like it was about to be shut out in the blink of an eye. Heroic looked to take map 1 immediately, but FNATIC stay in it, they compete, and now they're in a position mentally heading into that second map where they absolutely